Hey, what's up, parental queens? Welcome to Baget, the home of family creativity. My name is Cedrica Baggett, and I help moms build unbreakable bonds with their teens through cooking. Now, let's get to today's show because y'all know it's about to be on and popping. Now, let me get to my most favorite part of the show, which is always what, you guys? Motivational moment. You know, I like to start off with motivating you guys, motivating myself, motivating everybody, all the women moms out here. We got to have some motivation. So, let me go over tonight's quote. Tonight's quote is negative people need drama like it's oxygen. Stay positive and take their breath away. Now, if you ever in an environment where it's negative people around you, and I know it can irk your nerves if you're a positive person, like I'm a positive person. For instance, I'll give you some examples. I'm in the military. People in the military don't live in my world, okay? Most of them. I say about 85% because I don't deal with a lot of people like that. I just work and go home. So people don't live in my world. So when I'm at work, I separate it from what I do in home and personal. And so work is it's a totally different environment. People are always complaining, like, oh my God, I gotta like stuff like, and usually I'm just sitting there like, why? You know, so people are positive, like you, like me, like everybody here. When you're around negative people, stay positive. Blow their breath away. Stay positive. No matter how negative they are, keep it going. Stay positive. Always have an attitude. Always keep a smile on your face. Don't let their negative energy affect your positive bubble. Okay? So I want to remind you guys, negative people need drama like it's oxygen. Stay positive and take their breath away. Okay, girl. So remember that. Okay, that is very important. So now let's forward to a food fact of the day, which is cranberry juice. I'll tell y'all about some cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is rich in vitamin C. It helps immune system healthy and functioning, keep it healthy and functioning, and it helps kill bacteria and fights against stress. Now, let me tell y'all one thing. I'm not a big fan of cranberry juice. Really aren't. It's an exciting to have. But let me tell you what I do to spruce up the flavor a little bit. You some orange slices, y'all. You can add different things. Add orange slices, add cucumber, add whatever you like, and spruce up the flavor a little bit. These three little orange slices I have in here did a lot for the flavor. It does not taste like regular blah blah cranberry juice. Like so it really tastes really good with some orange slices, and also, you know, cucumbers are really good and healthy. It's one of the things people put in their water. You can also put it in the cranberry juice. It does spruce the flavor up as well. So get y'all some cranberry juice, y'all. It's really good. Add your fruits up in there, whatever you like, and it's gonna taste really good. I guarantee it. I promise you, because trust me, I do not like cranberry juice by itself. So let me remind you that cranberry juice is rich in vitamin C, and it helps keep the immune system healthy and functioning, and it helps kill bacteria, and it fights against stress. Y'all know we need some stress relievers. Okay, we're moms, we're working full time, we're doing with the kids full time. They're homeschooling, they're here, they're there. We got to help them with homework. We got to do, you know, get them ready for the next day. It's always an ongoing cycle, y'all. It's always an ongoing cycle. So you have to have things in place to relieve your stress, which is self-care. You can sit down and get you some cranberry juice with the orange slices and watch you some Netflix and chill with your cranberry juice or whatever you like to drink, and be just release the stress, release all the weight on your shoulders, y'all, because we got a lot of weight on our shoulders each and every day going through this COVID life right now. Okay, so make sure y'all remember that. And so now let me tell y'all about today's show. Today's show is going to be about how to get out of overwhelm and feeling stuck. I know y'all want to get out of overwhelm and feeling stuck. Okay, so let me introduce you guys to today's guest. Her name is Melissa. She's a wife and a mother of two, and she's a health coach. Y'all know I love bringing on people that talk about health because there's different aspects of it, and everybody has something different to offer, even though it's one space, but it's a whole lot of things in that one space. So everybody has something different to offer, and everybody has a different experience. So I want you guys to help me welcome Melissa Ross.
Hello. Hi, I love it. I'm so excited about your cranberry juice tip, and your motivational moment was amazing.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I've got 2 kiddos, and I'm a holistic health and life coach. And my specialty is really helping women to break free from sugar and emotional or stress eating so that they can be calm and confident and in control. That was a lot of my journey, was feeling stuck in overwhelm and exhaustion and frustration and kind of using sugar as my vice. So once I
Mhm.
learned how to break free from that, it really was a game changer. And I knew that there were other women who were where I was, and I really wanted to be able to come alongside and help them. So here I am, coming to you from sunny Arizona.
Yeah. So what got you in that place of eating unhealthy?
Yeah, I think kind of what got me there was my childhood and the way that I grew up. We grew up on, the standard American diet. I ate like a Velveeta cheese sandwich with white bread for lunch every day, and came home after school and would eat a bag of Doritos and Coke. And that was just kind of my MO. And that was what I knew and all I knew. And it wasn't until I learned a different way of eating and how to care for myself, and that food could really give me energy or it could take away energy, and it could affect my moods and my overall everything. That was really kind of when I learned about making changes and decided to go for it. So that's where it began.
Awesome. So what turning point make you make that change in your life?
I think there were a couple things. I think we were in a place where we had a newborn baby who wasn't sleeping. We had a
Mhm.
toddler who had some undiagnosed food allergies and some sensory challenges. My husband was traveling a lot for work. I had gotten a PTSD diagnosis from childhood trauma, and all of that just kind of hit the fan. And I went to a naturopath, and she did a lot of, vitamin and mineral testing, and
Mhm.
everything was kind of in the toilet because I wasn't getting what I needed from food. And so that's kind of my starting point, was realizing, hey, there has to be there has to be a better way. And who knew the answer was through food? I mean, that just totally like rocked my world.
Wow. So specifically for sugar, what is that? Too much of that in the body, what does it do to the body?
So much. I mean, it really impacts all of our organs. It really impacts our mental capacity. It affects the dopamine receptors in the brain. So we crave more and more of it to get that rush. So it's addictive.
Mhm.
It, impacts blood sugar. So it can impact our moods. It can make us, irritable, moody, crabby. There's so many impacts, not to mention like teeth and skin. Like it just is everything in the body. It really impacts. And it's not positive, unfortunately.
I never knew that because I love some sugar at times. I think we all do at times, and
Oh,
so
yes.
just the ability to have so when you need to stop and take a pause from eating so much sugar, and of course if it's from your childhood as well, it's something that you need to stop passing down to your children, like a generational thing. It's like a generational
Yeah.
thing, and so make sure your kids do the same. And eat, well, my son. Here's like I was before, find some like vegetables as much, find ways to hide vegetables. You want some vegetables? I know he know, but eventually say yes one day. And so find ways to hide those goodies up in their favorite food, like sweet potato. He loves sweet potatoes. So I hide carrots, blends well. So
Yes. Good job, mama.
no. Yeah, that's a habit that a lot of people deal with sugar because it is good, but in the long run, it's not good for your body. And like you said, Melissa, for your organs and your mental stability. And I didn't know all of that. So that's some really good tips.
Thank you. And I think it's just so widely accepted too. I mean, they throw it out at parades, it's given
Mhm.
out in schools and churches. I mean, it's just kind of I don't want to say the drug of choice, but it's just kind of this societal thing where it's just new.
Yeah. So what's the proper intake for, having your sweet tooth? What's the what's the proper intake for that?
I think it really depends on the person. We're all unique and we're all different. And I don't have like the number off the top of my head. But I think that you are your own best expert on your body. So you're going to know how much is too much for you. And you're going to
Right.
know, I just think really learning to connect with yourself and listen to your body is really powerful.
Yes. Of course. It very much is.
Yep. And something I didn't know. I mean, that's another great thing to teach our kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So for your kids, does it help the way you eat? Do they practice? Does it help with them? Are they easy to please with the healthy meals and everything like that?
It depends on what the healthy meal is. Like I have found the parameters that are acceptable to them, and so we work within those quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because they'll come home, from, when they were in school, they would come home from school and be like, oh, well, so and so had this for lunch or this was given out. And they're very aware of what other people are eating. And I think how it's different from how we eat.
Mhm.
And I think the verdict is still out on whether that's a positive or negative. But
Yeah. And so I'm gonna go back a little bit. When you were during the time you were feeling overwhelmed and stuck, how did that affect your kids at the time?
yeah, it was not good. I was not the mom that I wanted to be. I think when I was overwhelmed, my go-to was sugar,
Hmm.
because I didn't know how to express what I felt. I didn't have a safe place, I guess, to say I feel overwhelmed or I feel frustrated. So I used the sugar to kind of stuff my feelings. So I
Hmm.
had this baseline of overwhelm and frustration, and then I added sugar on top of it, and it was like a firework. And I was very explosive. I wasn't very calm. I was not confident. I was completely out of control. And I was pretty angry. Like I would just get set off pretty
Hmm.
easily. So that's, yeah, not pretty to think back on at all.
And because it was a habit for you for so long, was it a slow process, like getting away from it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, like, I look at my journey and there were so many steps. I think the first one was the supplementation, right? That's kind of where it began. And then the food allergies with our children having them, we were like, well, they came from somewhere. So I got tested for them, discovered what I was allergic to, and kind of discovered how those foods made my body feel. And that's kind of what started the light bulb and the rocket, the rocket. I don't know what I'm saying. The change of, this is, certain foods don't make me feel good. I need to figure this out. And that's kind of where the sugar came in because it just made me feel junky. Like it felt great to eat it, but
Yeah.
then it just wasn't worth it in the end.
Right. Exactly. So what keeps you staying healthy you to keep going, like even when you have your cravings? Go back a little bit.
Yeah, I still have sugar. I mean, I'm not sugar free. I think, I'm the type of person where if I do the all or nothing, I'll go from one end of the ditch to the other. So I need to find that middle ground just because of how I'm wired.
Mhm.
So I do have sugar and I do enjoy it, but it's not this need to like suffocate when I'm feeling. Um, but I think I just feel so much better. Like I just like the way that I feel, and I
Mhm.
like who I am. I like how I show up in the world. I like the wife I am. I like the mom I am. And I want to continue to be that person instead of who I was.
Yeah,
So I think that's kind of
exactly.
what motivates me. Because, yeah, the sweets are great. But if it makes me out of control and back where I was, no, thank you.
Mhm. So how did your mother how did your parent today
I'm
from
sorry, you cut out a little bit.
how did that change offshore on your health journey? How did that change how you parent today, like parented then?
I think I'm much more curious. I think the biggest thing I learned in my training as a coach is to replace judgment with curiosity. And that's really
Mhm.
changed everything for me because I think I'm much more curious about things instead of rushing to judgment and maybe, rushing to discipline or criticizing. It's more like, oh, can you tell me why that happened that way? Like, what was going on for you? So I think I've
Mhm.
just become more curious and probably even open-minded, to be honest with you. My husband and I were talking about that tonight because he was like, you've become much more gray, because I used to be very black or white, all or nothing. And he's like, you've gotten really good at being like in the middle.
Mhm.
So I thought that was good.
Yeah, I think so. You have to, especially if you have teens, you got
We're
to be
getting there
curious. You
in a
got to be
few
curious.
weeks.
Going from preteens to teens, you got to be curious. Number one, all the questions, because even when you living with your children in the same household, that don't mean you know your children 100%. You have to be able to be open-minded to those conversations and be curious, because you have to remember when we were all teenagers once before. So think back when those shoes were you were, what you was thinking about, so on and so forth. So you got to
I
be
just,
realistic.
yeah. And I just didn't know that was part of the thing, right? Like, who would have thought?
Yes. Awesome. And so who has been your most influential people in your life today, or just
Mm,
overall?
gosh, that's a good question. I think my mom has been pretty influential, and it's been interesting because she's kind of come along on the journey with me.
Mhm.
Obviously, we started in different points, but I think we both got into a place of just acceptance and like, it didn't start out great, but it became okay along the way. So I think definitely my mom, is one of them. Gosh, I think anybody that has the courage and the boldness to change either the way they were raised or the way that they've done something, and they really like have that desire and that courage and that vulnerability to be open to change. Those people inspire me all the time, because change is hard,
Yeah.
especially when it's all you know.
Yeah, that's true. When you've been doing the same things all your life. Yeah, but change is not bad though. Not all
Not at
change is
all.
bad.
Not at all.
And so I want to ask, what has been you and your family's go-to meal since COVID-19?
Oh gosh, go-to meal. Well, we have a lot of tacos. That's very socially acceptable
I
for the
think
children.
everybody's.
Spaghetti.
That one too. That has been like spaghetti and tacos is like my face to like something quick.
Yeah.
Something to go
Yeah.
all
We
out with
grill.
it.
So maybe something grill, but tacos and spaghetti definitely.
Yeah, that's
How about you? What's been yours? I want to know.
really it's good. And spaghetti. I love. I
Yep.
always try to go with the Taco Tuesday thing,
Yep.
and then I always make spaghetti sometime during the week as well, and then other times, different types of chicken and steak, and
Yep.
I mix it up sometimes salmon.
Yep.
It's it's always almost always tacos and spaghetti at least one time out the week.
Okay. See, we're all doing the same thing.
It's simple.
And they like it. I think that's the thing, right? Like, I think I'm right now on the path of least resistance. So if I'm not going to have kickback at dinner, that's really good.
Yeah, it is. And like most kids love spaghetti, and I don't know who don't like tacos.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. So I'm going to pull up your information on the screen. For those of you who are watching and listening, for those of you who will be listening later on, her website is freetobecoaching.com, and her Facebook is at Melissa Ross Coach, and IG is free to be coaching, free to be underscore coaching. Can you tell us a little bit about what you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I have lots of freebies on my website for, cravings and kicking sugar. And then as far as coaching goes, I have programs for breaking free from sugar. I have a Finding Freedom Sisterhood. Really want to help women break free from that sugar and that emotional eating so they can be calm and confident and in control. So it's all listed on my website. But yeah, I'm excited to be here and share, and I love what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for being here and sharing what you do. And so, you guys, I want to remind you, go to her website, free2becoaching.com. Follow her on Facebook at Melissa Ross Coach, and IG, free to be coaching. Okay, y'all? And so, Melissa, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your story, your journey, and your business about what you do. And I want to remind everybody that's watching to go follow her. And I know you guys got some value out of this. So I know you guys are good. So make sure you guys share and like this video, because there's always another mom, another woman out there who needs to hear the story as well and hear somebody else's journey to be encouraged. Because none of us are perfect. We all have our battle scars, our mistakes that we go through in life, but our mistakes are worth it sometimes to get to where we are today. So let me tell y'all. So once again, Melissa, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your story, your gift with my audience, with everybody. So it's going to go out to the world. And for those of you who are watching, make sure you guys tune in next week, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, virtual, of course. And I want to thank everybody for watching, for listening, and I will see you then. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.